Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, and today we are going to be talking about Nervos Networks, CKB, and why I still think we are on track for the time being to come up and hit these all-time highs of 4.5 cents. With that said, hit me up on Twitter if you're into crypto at Real6Fig. This is where I'm dropping links to upcoming videos, live streams, charts, things I find crypto interesting, and all, of course, the Nervos Networks Hashing It Out episode 28, which I am going on today. Now, I think I'm going to air this video after hashing it out so we don't take away from that, but if you're watching this video, go back and check it out on their YouTube channel or on Twitter. It is a great platform for discussion. And in addition to that, if you have any questions, you can also reach out to the team directly. So this is a great opportunity to ask questions live. So with that said, let's get back into the TA and why I think that we're still on track. Even with Bitcoin, folks, I know. Trust me, I know. You probably think that I'm trolling you, saying, oh my God, I think we're going to 2x from here. What? So I think, folks, and I think this is not financial or trading advice, but I think that we are in the midst of possibly seeing Elliott wave theory still to the upside. And I do think that there is a great chance that we may, in fact, see 0.5 end up right around all-time highs. I do think this. So I am holding CKB. I'm going through these ups and downs right alongside you. With that said, let's just kind of look at things. What's going on? We can see that these lows are still getting higher up against this trend line. So this is wonderful. We are seeing that we are still in the same upward climb dating back to November of 2020. So think about that. Over a year now, we've been in this upward trend. That is a wonderful thing. Now, there is some danger here, and it wouldn't be fair for me to just sell you the bullish narrative. So with that said, I do think that it's important to recognize where we could be at. So this is one scenario. We may see price action come down to the penny-and-a-half level, but as long as we don't break this lower trend line, I think that we will be set up to retest these all-time highs at those levels. Now, we could have already seen the bottom at 2 cents from 0.3 to 0.4 to 0.5. And this would be good as well, because that means we would be on the upward trend to retest all-time highs right now, even at 0.023 cents. So with that said, folks, I think CKB is still sitting good. But here's what worries me. And you know Bitcoin has been kind of shaky lately. This is also a halfway decent setup for a head and shoulders pattern to appear. And this may be what is going on as well. So the fact that we have to really assume that there could be trouble lurking if we do not get a proper bounce off this trend line if we come down to meet it. That is why I am hoping that we reversed right at the 2 cent level and are on the way up. My goodness, folks. So with that said, let's just throw up a little time sequence and see if there's anything really that pops up. So I really like this swing high to this swing low. And we'll kind of roll with this. And the reason we're going to roll with this placement right here is because it predicted this little upspurt here, and it basically predicted this little upspurt here. And I'm not saying that we are going to see some sort of uptick, but I do think that possibly around December 14th, we may see some sort of price reversal happen. Whether we are moving to the downside or upside, that's anyone's guess. but I do think December 14th, maybe December 13th, late night Central Time, there might be an opportunity for price action to maybe start its next leg up. We don't know. Let's look at CKB on a 1-day time frame and just kind of see where it is at. So in yesterday's video, we had this very nice spinning top form. And I was really hoping that we would see this price action reverse and start ripping to the upside. But as you can see, new candle printed and price has started moving down. So at this point in time, it may be looking like we may be coming down to about 0.016, 0.017-ish possibly to retest that lower trend line that I was talking about earlier. So the tides are changing, folks, and it would make sense if this did happen, because this would drive this 200 moving average probably a little bit parallel with this trend line, and it would be a great time to retest that trend line. And I do think at that point it would be on for possibly an ascending triangle if the market can stay healthy. Otherwise, I do think that we may be seeing this thing prep for a head and shoulders pattern back down to at least penny and a half, penny level, possibly even sub penny. So you got to think about this. It's really at a tipping point right now. Of course, this really depends on Bitcoin and what it is doing. So with that said, let's just look at Bitcoin. You can see that Bitcoin dominance right now is kind of in this falling wedge. I've been kind of tracking this a little bit on the side, and you can definitely see where this falling wedge is really playing a part with Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Bitcoin will get a bounce, but for now it's losing dominance, but a reversal seems likely in the near future. Here is Bitcoin, and let's look at this on a weekly chart to really understand what's going on. We have a full body candle, several of them to the downside. We've had about 4 weeks of bleeding now, and this is likely to continue if we see price action really move, in my opinion, below, I would say, this $46,000, $47,000 level. Maybe we would get a little bit of a scam wick below it. I can deal with that, kind of like what we saw here. But I do think that once price action slips underneath this 50 moving average on the weekly chart, it's over. And let me explain why. Because traditionally we have only gotten one bounce off the 50 in a bull run. And this was the little mini run that happened in 2019, and then coronavirus hit. So there was a black swan event, but still we got a single bounce off the 50. 2017 and 18, single bounce off the 50. We slid into the bear market after crossing underneath this little 50 moving average. Same thing down here. If I can get TradingView to cooperate. All right, folks, you can see that we had that single bounce off the 50 and we slipped into the bear market on the weekly charts, folks. Do not get this confused with the daily. Now, here's the other caveat. and this could be, we could be setting up for one of the most crazy bull runs of all time here. And quite frankly, setting up for a huge blow off top. And here's my theory behind this, is that we have a bounce off the 50. We didn't quite come back down to touch it, but now we have wicked into the 50. And price action is either going to slip into the bear market if we go underneath it. This is a theory. This is not financial or trading advice. And we will see a $20,000 Bitcoin quite possibly. And this is what I've been saying back in August, back in September, I said, if we see price action slip beneath the 50 on the weekly chart, we are coming down to retest the 200 moving average. But Bitcoin is in this very unique position right now where we can see that it has really been kind of following this upward trend since May of 2020, which is great. In addition to this, it gets better, folks. We could also argue that, hey, there may in fact be an ascending triangle that is playing out here as well. And we may be seeing Bitcoin gear up to rage to the upside. And when I'm saying blow off top, man, this is going to get freaky if this does happen. So with that said, folks, that's kind of where I am pending Bitcoin. If Bitcoin slips, I think we're going to see some really nasty numbers with CKB. The base just the base is there, but it's just not as solid as some of these other coins. The one other thing that if Bitcoin erupts here and we see this blow off top happen, I think we are going to see all these alts just completely go berserk. And we can almost see here that we do have a Fibonacci time sequence, January 31st, 2022. So keep that in mind, folks. Are we or are we not going to see some sort of price explosion? Maybe we'll see a quick wick down and a reversal here to come to the upside. Nobody knows. We can just speculate. And that's kind of my take, good or bad, on the market right now. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please only trade with what you can afford to lose. This time right now is we are basically on a balance beam. It's no matter which way we fall, it's going to get crazy for sure. So big shout out to all the Patreons. Thank you for subscribing, supporting the channel. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, it's $3 a month. It'll get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner. We'll see you guys on Hashing It Out.